most dangerous prison is not built with iron bars or stone walls. It is built with attention. Every day something asks for your energy. Every day someone asks for your reaction. Every day the world places a hook into your mind and waits for you to pull against it. And the more you pull, the deeper the hook goes. Many people say, I am tired because life is heavy. But often life is not what is making them heavy. What makes them heavy is carrying what was never theirs to carry. Look honestly at your life. How much of your peace is lost because you keep feeding what drains you? How much of your strength disappears because you keep giving time to what weakens you? How much of your clarity is gone because you keep opening the door to noise? You return to thoughts that poison your morning. You answer people who only reach for you when they need something. You keep revisiting memories that have already taken enough from you. You compare your life to what you see on a screen. You explain yourself to people who have already decided not to understand you. You hold guilt for choices that were necessary. You carry resentment toward those who have already moved on. You remain loyal to habits that quietly damage your focus, your health, your money, your spirit. And then you wonder why you feel empty. You are not empty because you have nothing. You are empty because your energy is leaking in too many directions. Detachment is not coldness. Detachment is not indifference. Detachment is not pretending that nothing matters. Detachment is clarity. It is the ability to see what deserves your life force and what merely consumes it. It is the wisdom to stop feeding what makes you smaller. A weak person detaches through bitterness. A wise person detaches through understanding. When you truly see clearly, you do not need revenge. You do not need drama. You do not need to make a performance out of leaving. You simply stop participating in what diminishes you. Many people misunderstand peace. They think peace will come when everything outside becomes calm. But life has never promised calm. People will speak, plans will fail, problems will come, the body will become tired, the mind will create fear, the world will continue knocking at the door of your attention. Peace is not when life stops knocking. Peace is when you stop opening the door to everything. There are things draining you right now because you are still negotiating with them. You know a relationship is pulling you away from yourself, but you call it loyalty. You know a habit is weakening your discipline, but you call it comfort. You know an argument is pointless, but you call it defending your truth. You know an environment is damaging your ambition, but you call it belonging. You know an old version of yourself is gone, but you keep trying to resurrect it. This is not love. This is not kindness. This is self-betrayal. The first step in detaching from what drains you is to stop lying about what drains you. Do not make it mysterious when it is obvious. Do not make it spiritual when it is avoidance. Do not make it complicated because you are afraid to act. Your body already knows. Your nervous system already knows. Notice how you feel after leaving certain people. Notice how you feel after spending 1 hour on certain apps. Notice how you feel after breaking your own routine. Notice how you feel after saying yes when everything inside you wanted to say no. Your energy tells the truth. The problem is that you keep ignoring its report. There is a kind of tiredness that sleep cannot fix. It comes from living against yourself. It comes from smiling when your soul is exhausted. It comes from forcing connection where there is no respect. It comes from seeking approval from those who do not even approve of themselves. It comes from building a life that looks acceptable from the outside, while your inner world is starving for silence. Detach from the need to be understood by everyone. This alone will free a large part of your mind. Some people are not confused about you. They are committed to their version of you. You can explain with logic. You can explain with emotion. You can explain with proof. And still they will twist your meaning. Why? Because some people benefit from misunderstanding you. You cannot heal a conversation with someone who needs you to be wrong. So if your intention is clean and your actions are honest, do not remain standing in the courtroom of other people's opinions. Let them think. Let them speak. Let them create stories. Silence is not weakness. Very often silence is the moment dignity returns. The ego always wants the last word. It says make them see. It says make them regret. It says make them know you were right. But the disciplined person asks a better question. Is this worth my peace? Most things are not. You do not need to attend every argument. You do not need to answer every disturbance. You do not need to prove your growth to people who were attached to your weakness. You do not need to perform healing for those who enjoyed your pain. Detach precisely, not loudly, not bitterly, precisely. Some of you are not only attached to people. You are attached to emotional noise. When life becomes calm, you become uncomfortable. When someone is consistent, you become suspicious. When there is no chaos, your mind creates it. You say you want peace, but your system has become familiar with storms. So when peace arrives, you mistake it for emptiness. This is why detachment is not only mental. It is physical. It is emotional. It is nervous system training. You must teach yourself that calm is safe. You must teach yourself that distance is not abandonment. You must teach yourself that not reacting does not mean you lost. You must teach yourself that being unavailable to drama is not arrogance. It is maintenance. A garden does not apologize for having a fence. Your life also needs a fence. Without boundaries, your energy becomes public property. Anyone can enter, anyone can take. Anyone can plant fear in your soil. Anyone can leave their chaos inside your mind. Then you look at your life and wonder why nothing beautiful is growing. Boundaries are not punishment. They are protection of the sacred. Your attention is sacred. What you repeatedly allow becomes your atmosphere. What you repeatedly consume becomes your thinking. What you repeatedly tolerate becomes your standard. What you repeatedly chase becomes your master. So look carefully at what you chase. Some chase love. Some chase validation. Some chase status. Some chase attention. Some chase money. Some chase the past. Some chase people who are not leaving by accident but by choice. And this chasing drains you because it places your worth outside yourself. When you chase, you tell your soul, I am not enough unless I get this. That is why your peace begins to depend on a reply, a result, a number, a compliment, a sign. You have placed your inner stability into the hands of something unstable. Work hard, yes. Love deeply, yes. Serve, build, improve, yes. But do not chase like a starving spirit. What is meant for you may still require effort, but it will not require self-destruction to keep it. Many people fear letting go because they are afraid of loss. But they never ask the deeper question. What am I losing by holding on? You are afraid to lose the person, but you are already losing yourself. You are afraid to lose the opportunity, but you are already losing your health. You are afraid to lose the image, but you are already losing your truth. You are afraid to lose the comfort, but you are already losing your future. Sometimes holding on is the real loss. Life moves through release. The hand that refuses to open cannot receive. The mind that refuses to empty cannot see. The heart that refuses to let go cannot heal. You want new energy, but your life is full of old attachments. You want peace, but you keep entertaining the same voices. You want a new beginning, but you still sleep beside old emotions. Be honest. You cannot build a clean life with unclean habits. You cannot build a focused mind with endless distraction. You cannot build self-respect while betraying your own boundaries. Detachment often begins with one simple sentence. This is no longer good for me. Say it clearly. This conversation is no longer good for me. This habit is no longer good for me. This place is no longer good for me. This version of myself is no longer good for me. This fantasy is no longer good for me. This anger is no longer good for me. This waiting is no longer good for me. And once you see it, you must honor what you see. Clarity without action becomes another form of suffering. Many people are not confused. They are afraid of the truth they already know. They want change without discomfort. They want peace without discipline. They want freedom without sacrifice. They want healing without withdrawing from what wounded them. But freedom has a price, and that price is the old attachment. You cannot carry everything into the next level of your life. Some habits cannot come with you. Some conversations cannot come with you. Some friendships cannot come with you. Some excuses cannot come with you. Some identities cannot come with you. The doorway is narrow for a reason. It forces you to choose. This is where many fail. They want transformation, but they still want approval from the old environment. They want growth, but they still want comfort from old patterns. They want strength, but they continue feeding weakness in private. Freedom is not a wish, it is a practice. Start with your reactions. When something disturbs you, pause. When the message arrives, pause. When the insult comes, pause. When the craving rises, pause. When the fear speaks, pause. The pause is where freedom begins. Without the pause, you are only programming in motion. Something happens and you react. Someone speaks and you burn. A thought appears and you obey it. A desire rises and you kneel. The pause cuts the string. In that space, ask, is this mine to carry? Is this mine to answer? Is this mine to fix? Is this mine to believe? Much of what drains you will collapse under these questions. Not every feeling is an instruction. Not every fear is a prophecy. Not every desire is wisdom. Not every memory deserves a home. Not every person deserves access. The mind produces noise. You do not have to worship every sound. Detach from the belief that every problem requires your emotional participation. Some problems need action, not anxiety. Some need patience, not panic. Some need distance, not discussion. Some need acceptance, not endless analysis. You exhaust yourself because you confuse worry with care. Worry is not devotion. Worry is imagination turned against yourself. If you can act, act. If you cannot act, breathe. Anything else becomes self-punishment. Also detach from the identity of being wounded. Yes, you were hurt. Yes, you were disappointed. Yes, you gave too much. Yes, you lost time. Yes, you were unseen when you most needed to be seen. but pain may explain part of your story. It must not become your entire identity. At some point, healing asks you to stop building your personality around your wound. You may remember the past, but you are not meant to live there. Take the lesson, not the chain. Take the wisdom, not the bitterness. Take the warning, not the identity. A person can continue hurting you long after they are gone if you keep rebuilding them in your mind. Your replaying feeds them. Your anger feeds them. Your imagined conversations feed them. Your hunger for an apology feeds them. Detachment means refusing to rehearse your pain. When the old story begins again, say to yourself, I have already watched this, I know how it ends. Then return to the breath, return to the body, return to the task, return to the present. Training is necessary. A distracted mind does not become free. It simply trades one attachment for another. Today a person, tomorrow fear, next week a fantasy, then a comparison, then a craving, then a regret. The object changes, the slavery remains. Sit in silence even for a few minutes each day. Observe the mind. See how restless it is. See how quickly it looks for stimulation, problems, stories, identity. At first, silence may feel uncomfortable. Good, that is not failure. That is diagnosis. Most people never meet themselves because they are never still long enough to notice what is inside. They keep the noise on at all times because stillness reveals the truth. And the truth may be this. You are exhausted. You are scattered. You are hungry for approval. You are carrying emotions you have not processed. You cannot release what you refuse to see. So sit, breathe, watch. Do not fight every thought. Do not follow every thought. Let them pass. You are not every thought you think. You are not every emotion you feel. You are not every urge that rises in you. You are the awareness that notices. When sadness comes, you can say sadness is here, not I am sadness. When anger comes, anger is here, not I am anger. When fear comes, fear is here, not I am fear. This space changes everything. Space creates choice. Choice creates freedom. Detach from comparison. Comparison is theft wearing the mask of motivation. You look at another person's visible result and compare it to your invisible struggle. You see their smile, not their burden. You see their success, not their sacrifice. You see their appearance, not their insecurity. You see their outcome, not their cost. And then you use their surface to attack your depth. This is foolishness. Your path has its own timing. Do not use timing as an excuse, but do not use another person's timing as a weapon against yourself either. Also detach from the need to appear healed before you have truly healed. Real transformation is often quiet. Sometimes it looks like loneliness. Sometimes it looks like saying no and trembling afterward. Sometimes it looks like deleting the number and crying. Sometimes it looks like staying home while others are distracted, because you finally understand that your future needs more from you than your impulses do. Do not rush to be seen. Build in silence. A foundation is underground. That does not make it weak. That makes it responsible for everything above it. Detach from applause. When praise becomes food, you become weak. If people cheer, you rise. If people ignore you, you collapse. Then they own the buttons of your spirit. Take them back. Do the work because it is right. Keep your discipline because your life depends on it. Keep your promises to yourself because broken self-promises quietly destroy confidence. The purest discipline often happens when nobody is watching. Finally, detach from illusions. Sometimes you are not attached to a person. You are attached to your idea of them. You are attached to their potential. You are attached to what they were in the beginning. You are attached to the future you built in your mind. But potential is not a place to live. Look at patterns, not promises. Promises are easy. Patterns reveal truth. What repeats is what rules. If disrespect repeats, believe it. If neglect repeats, believe it. If distraction repeats, believe it. If self-sabotage repeats, believe it. Not so you can become bitter. So you can stop pretending. Detachment is not denial. Detachment is the end of denial. Stop making your chains look beautiful. That toxic bond is not passion. That endless overworking is not always ambition. That constant scrolling is not rest. That people-pleasing is not kindness. That jealousy is not love. That rage is not strength. Name things correctly. Once you name them correctly, they begin to lose power. And every morning, ask yourself one honest question. Where is my energy leaking? Through resentment? Through unfinished tasks? Through poor sleep? Through bad habits? Through comparison? Through unnecessary conversations? Through chasing approval? Through trying to control what cannot be controlled? Through reaching for the phone before your feet even touch the ground? Do not answer beautifully. Answer truthfully. Then close one leak, not 10. 1. The undisciplined mind wants immediate transformation. The trained mind understands that one closed leak each day becomes a different life. Protect your attention. Protect your peace. Protect your spirit. Because the life you want does not begin when the world changes. It begins when you stop giving your energy to what drains it. If you want, I can also turn this into